Hello Bladers, this is Hector Sanchez and I'm here with Rakesh Saha, and today we're bringing you a VMready product demonstration. This is part one of our demonstration, and in part one we're going to cover our VMready benefits, we're going to show our grouping concepts, as well as our Nmotion live migration. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Rakesh and we're going to get going. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Hector. We will now start the VMready product demonstration. Let me just minimize the screens that we don't need. And first we will walk through the benefits of VMready. So VMready is an enterprise data center network virtualization product. What it does is that it detects virtual machines connected to itself, which is a new and unique feature of our switches which have VMready software in it. You can create groups of VMs, and VMs within the same group can talk to each other. VMs which are not in the same group cannot talk to each other, and we will demonstrate that. We also help in migration of live VMs from one hypervisor to another, and we do it via the technology called Nmotion. Using Nmotion, what you will find is that you don't have to configure your network switches for the live migration to happen and the VMs to be still able to talk to the outside world. In other words, no network configuration is required for the migration of VMs from one system to another. Then we also help in P2V transition. So when you do P2V transition, and if the physical machine had VLANs in them, then you will have to change your network configuration to match those VLANs of the new VM. With VMready, you don't have to do that. We also help in dynamic provisioning of virtual machines, which means that once you have the VMs provisioned in your virtualization vendor software, then you can also put those VMs in advance in specific groups of your choice in VMready software on switches. And when those VMs come alive, they actually have the right policies assigned to them. We also help a little bit in accounting and auditing, so we note of migration that happens between two hypervisors of a given virtual machine. We also show the VLANs to which the virtual machines belong, and the hope here is that this information will help the network administrator in determining whether the VMs are as per the policies and the security that has been assigned to them. And lastly, our technology is vendor neutral. It works with all the major hypervisors. And now we will move on to the demonstration itself. So this is the setup of the demonstration. We have three hypervisors, hypervisor 1, hypervisor 2, hypervisor 3, and we have three VMs, VM60 in one hypervisor, VM70 and 90. Without grouping concept applied, these three VMs can talk to each other. Then what we have here is the Ethernet switch running VMready software in a stacked configuration. And then first step what we do is that we create a group of VM60 and VM90, and what we will see at that point of time is that VM90 will be able to talk to VM60, whereas VM70, which is not in the same group, will not be able to talk to VM60. Then we will move VM90 from this hypervisor to this one over here, and you will see that even though we have moved VM90 and put it in a different machine, we do not have to change anything on the network for VM90 to communicate across the switch and go to VM60. So now what we do is we move on to the demonstration using our switch. So what I have here is VMware's Virtual Center console. You can see that VM60 is here, VM70 is here, and VM90 is here. And right now, you can see VM70 is talking to VM60, and here VM90 is talking to VM60. So what I will do now is go to the GUI of our VMready switch, and then I will click on these plus signs. These plus signs indicate that there are virtual machines associated with these ports. So I go ahead and do that. I put VM90, let's say in group 5. I put VM60, let's say again in group 5. So VM60 and 90 will be in the same group once the configuration is applied. So I applied the configuration. configuration has been successfully applied, and you can now see that VM70, which is not in the same group, has stopped communicating to VM60. ICMP sequence numbers are not increasing, whereas VM90 continues to talk to VM60 because VM60 and VM90 are in the same group. So this demonstrates the group feature of our VMready product. Now what I will do is I will migrate VM90 from machine 4630 to machine 4640. And we will see that even though I'm migrating the machine to a different, migrating the virtual machine VM90 to a different server, I do not have to configure the switch in any way. So I go ahead and I do the migration, and you can see the migration has started right over here, and we will shift our focus to these two windows over here and see what happens. So the migration is almost done, and you can see that VM70 has stopped, is continue to stop talking, but here on VM90 you can see that the migration has happened and we still are talking to VM60, and we have not changed anything on the switch. No VLAN configuration or nothing has been done, and you can see that VM90, which was under port 12, is no longer under port 12 but has migrated to a different port corresponding to the different server, which is port 21, and here you have VM90. So this demonstrates the live VM migration without any changes in the network configuration. This concludes the demonstration part 1 of VMready. Thank you very much.